join us, make sure you go over to UNA Republic on Facebook and subscribe. Okay, go to UNA Republic on Facebook and subscribe. So here we are. We are in week 2 of the Back to Basics Seminar Summer 2021. Thank everybody for joining us. Let me fix the rig. All right, there we go. So now we're dealing with the Back to Basics Seminar week 2. And I want to thank everybody who's joined us. I want to thank the spirits for giving me the opportunity to share this information. One moment, need to take some scissors as we let everybody come on in. Don't forget, we are live on YouTube. So go to YouTube and subscribe. Help us build that channel. All right. So thank you all. Go to YouTube and subscribe. Help us build that channel. This is the pre-session for the Back to Basics Seminar. Pre-session for the Back to Basics Seminar. You all know, some of you all know why we do these pre-sessions. We do always want to bring remedy to you in each and every one of our sessions, give you some information that maybe you didn't know, or give you some things that you can go and research for yourself so that you can build your knowledge. All right, now we're in the pre-session, and what I want to make sure we deal with, first of all, is what our summer season looks like. Our summer season. All right, this summer season 2021, we've got a full load. We got a full load here in the UNA University. All right, so on Sundays, we have the history session, and those are from 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to be a part of that, go to UNA University. On Mondays, we have the Back to Basics Seminar, which deals with your trust and everything you're wanting to do to get yourself under trust and become a private entity. On Wednesdays, we have the Big Financial Instruments Seminar. That is for our upper level students. You must be under trust or on your way into trust so that you get into that seminar. Go to UNA University once again. These are all 10-week seminars. This is a university, 10-week seminars. This is not, we're going to give it to you in 10 minutes and then suddenly you got it. It doesn't work like that. You got to understand that law and understanding it, your knowledge of the law is like a tool. It is like a skill set that you develop. So it's not where you're just going to go and fill out some paperwork and ta-da, it works. That's not how this game is. All right. You must understand that this whole system, all right, this whole game is dealing with your knowledge and your ability to use the knowledge to your advantage in this game. This is a game. This is a game for those of y'all who are not recognizing it. So what we're talking about today in this game are the universal laws and how important it is to understand them. What we're talking about today, these are the big rules of the game. These are the big rules of the game. So when you hear people saying ignorance of the law is no excuse, well, talking about the rules, talking about the universal laws. Those laws, more so than man's laws or these earthly laws, the universal laws are those laws. If you're ignorant of them, there is no excuse. You're going to suffer whatever it is. There's not going to be anywhere for you to go and say, well, see, I didn't know this law. I didn't understand that law. Well, okay. Those who are playing the game at the highest level, they fully understand the universal laws. And I mean, they fully understand it. So if you want to be up on this and up on the game, then you want to make sure getting into these sessions so you can understand what these laws are. Now, for those of y'all who are coming into the seminar and those of y'all who have been in the seminar, hold on. I want to make sure that you understand this right here. This is the foundation of what this whole game is about, and understanding your sovereignty and where you stand in this society. This is the foundation. And a lot of people want to try to skip over this part. There will be no skipping over this part. There will be no skipping over this part, because if you don't understand the basics I don't care what kind of paperwork you put out. I don't care who you talk to or how you talk to them. You're not going to be able to affect your remedy if you don't have the basis. All right. And we're going to go over some things. I'm going to give you some examples. That's what I'm discussing today, why these laws are so important, and also why history is important. Once again, I told you we've got those 3 seminars we've got going on this season. Go to unauniversity.com if you want to be a part of it and enroll in these seminars. All right. Now, why are the universal laws, Diva, so important? Again, I say to you, when we're talking about these people who are playing, that y'all want to call the quote unquote elite, who are playing this game, they full well understand the universal laws. And again, ignorance of the law is no excuse. And so whenever these people are entering these societies or what have you, it's always, first of all, you have to have a God. I'm not telling you to be religious. I'm not telling you what to believe in. But what I am telling you is what those who are playing the game at the highest level believe in. And if you don't recognize anything else, you need to recognize these people have a God that they have to respect. There's something that they fear. You want to know who that is and what it is, what the laws of this entity is or are, so that you can use them to your advantage, because it doesn't matter if whatever they decide to call it. Some people come with the acronym for God is this and that. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. It is not important. What you want to know, instead of listening to these people who are clueless in this game, you want to find out what the laws of that God are, so that you can use them to your advantage. Don't be crazy, don't be silly, and don't be ignorant in this game. Don't. Ain't time for that. It's time out for that. Time out. You are not concerned about, they call them a buzzer bell, and they call them the group of the day. I don't give a damn what the acronym stands for or what the other name is. What are the laws of this God that these people serve and respect? Because now you can use them to your advantage. That's all you want. Again, this is the game. What are the rules? What are the laws? Now, when you understand that, you can start using that. Well, Diva, I just want the paperwork. Your paperwork ain't gonna work if you don't understand the basics. All right. Beyond that, these people have a God. Number 2, the main things that they're going to get into is the 7 Hermetic principles. Go look them up. Go look up the universal laws. If you don't have them, unarepublic.com/docs, DOCS. unarepublic.com/docs, DOCS. Go look them up, learn them. We're going to get into them deep today. Because you thinking you can just skip over. I've had too many people to say to me, well, can we just skip over that part and get to the paperwork? No, you ain't gonna get to the paperwork, not with me. If you are not willing to understand the basis. Why, Diva? All right, let's go through this. Let me help you understand why. All right. Let me help you understand why. There have been many times when I have dealt with people who, we've done the document. This is why if you're not in my classes and my seminars, I'm not getting into your case. I'm not even going to, I don't care how much money you have. I'm not interested in doing business with you unless you understand the basis of law. So please don't come to me desperate. I've had too many of those. Don't. Because you've got to be able to stand on your own. And if you can't stand on your own, it doesn't matter what information I give you. This is the information you're going to be getting. This is high level information. You have to understand everything that you're putting on record. You got to understand it, and you got to understand how you are the one who initiated whatever mess that you're in right now. You've got to understand how you are the one who initiated whatever mess you're in right now. If you're not willing to understand and accept that, nothing you do is going to work anyway. If you think you are a victim, you're going to have a very difficult time finding any kind of remedy in this game. You're going to continue to be fighting. You're going to be fighting. But once you finish with this contract, you're going to be fighting with this contract over here, and you got to put another contract. You will be continuously fighting because you're not understanding the laws. All right? So I'm going back to this. For me, if somebody's coming to me and they're wanting help with a case, you must go through these sessions. You must. Or show that you have a knowledge, especially of the universal laws, the highest of laws. You got to have the basis. And let's understand what has happened. I'm going to give you an example. I had a situation where I helped someone with a child support case. Help this person deal with not going to jail. I helped them deal with getting the child back and help them deal with paying the child support. These are upper level type processes that we're doing. Now, there were so many things that came into play with respect to this whole situation. There's a divorce and there's a child, and this person wanted custody of the child. Here's the deal. And this is what I know. When we're doing these upper level processes, when you put out an instrument, whatever it is, a document, you must know full well what you're putting down, because when you step into that court, you must stand on your own. Nobody else can stand with you. No lawyer and somebody who's got interest in the case. You can do that, but I'm not going to be that person. All right. Now, in order to do that, you must have knowledge, and you're not going to get this knowledge in a few days. So I had somebody come to me in a week, had been dealing with this case all this time, and comes to me in a week. And I had to prepare this person. First of all, make sure your documents are in order. And I had to prepare this person for what to say when you get in front of the judge. And the person did these things. They did them right, which is why they didn't go to jail, which is why they were able to pay off the child support, which is why they got the child back. Because in addition to doing these things, there were documents that had to be filed. A court had to be created, which is what we did. Financial instruments had to be created, which is what we did. And so all of those things were taken care of. But at the end of the day, I had to tell her, I said, listen up. You have an energy that is going on between you and your ex. And you have to deal with that energy, because until you deal with that energy, your ex is going to continue to come at you. It's going to continue to put pressure on you in ways that you don't understand. And sure enough, they came. Before I even go into that, because sure enough, they did come back at her. But the other problem was there was a spiritual energy there. A whole bunch of nastiness and negativity was going on, where the person who I was dealing with had put it out. And it was like, you got to deal with that energy. And, my thing was, write a letter. This is what I always suggest: sit down and write, because, when you put something in writing, you're giving flesh to whatever your thoughts and ideas are. That brings them to life. What is it that you want to happen to resolve this issue? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I need to tell you once again, if we are sovereign, we're not supposed to be bringing the state into our affairs anyway. If we're sovereign, we're not supposed to be bringing the state into our affairs anyway. And so here you have a situation where the state is involved in your affairs. How do you remove it? You've got to be the one to stand as an adult. I get it. These relationships, they end bad, and this one is mad at this one and this one. I get it. But we got to learn how to stand as adults and stop, because the only reason why the state is in your affair because you didn't know how to stand as an adult from the beginning. To be honest with you, a will should be created. They be talking about prenuptial agreements and all of this. Y'all got to understand your marriage is nothing but a business anyway. Your marriage is nothing but a business anyway if you have gone through the state to get married. It's just a business. It's not anything about love in the first place. So what you've got to recognize is that if you have a marriage, or you're getting married to someone and you're wanting to keep the state out of your affairs, then you put that on public record yourself with the county. When you put that on public record yourself, it should include some sort of will. It should include some sort of prenuptial agreement. If this happens, if we get divorced and we have children, then this, and this. You're in charge of running your business instead of putting the state in charge. See, because you've become a sovereign, you become an adult. So the state doesn't have to get involved in your affairs because we've already set a plan here where if we get divorced, this is what the agreement is. This is the will. This is the prenup. Some of y'all think prenup is a negative thing. Y'all better think twice unless you're okay with the state getting involved in your affairs. All right. So here's the deal. There was a lot of negative energy that she had put out, and she had not resolved it. And on top of that, she had no depth in law. If you're playing this game, again, I say this is a game, you have to have depth in law. This is like, some of y'all think, okay, Dave, I'm gonna just give me some paperwork. I'm out here and I'm gonna do what I need to do. That's, you know what, this is like you getting a basketball and you've never dribbled the basketball before, and you think you're just gonna go out on the court and beat Michael Jordan. You think you're gonna just go out on the basketball court, you just learn how to dribble. You don't have any understanding of the basis of the game, but you want to go play basketball, and then you can't dribble and go up against Michael Jordan. And you get slammed on, and you pissed off because, I ain't free. I thought I was a paperwork. Does just having a basketball help you become a great basketball player? No. It's a skill. This is a skill. And you don't learn it in a couple of days. You don't learn it with a couple of sessions. You have to study. You have to want to know it. This is a skill. And you learn it by doing it and studying. Now, you also must have the basics and the fundamentals, the understanding of not only the game, but the laws that are associated with it. And I ain't talking laws. I'm talking about mama's laws, universal laws. If you don't know them, then you're waiting in the wind. You are fodder. You will not even be able to get on the basketball court. And if you do, you're going to get kicked right off because you're not understanding the game. All right? Universal laws. You're not going to skip over it. Because what I've seen is that, again, someone who is in this game and they're thinking that they're a victim and they're not recognizing their role in the entire mess and unwilling to do what it takes to deal with the spiritual side of this game, you can forget it. You will not find remedy. I said it. You will not find remedy. Because everything deals with the underlying spiritual side. Those who are playing the game at a high level, they full well know that. This is how they use your own energies against you all the time because you're ignorant of how powerful you truly are. When you learn your true power, this is when you become more efficient at playing this game. This is when you learn how to just use your spiritual energies to get remedy. You don't even need to write any paperwork. You don't need to write a contract and do an administrative process. Let me say this, because I go into the difference between the feminine energy and the masculine energy. All right. See, people think when you say feminine energy or feminine anything, they think that's weak. Listen to me carefully, people. Listen to me carefully. The spiritual energy is more of what we would consider the feminine energy. All right. This energy where you're moving around in this third dimension and you're going to work and you're writing stuff and that's the masculine energy. Listen to me carefully, because some of y'all are not understanding how powerful the feminine energy is, or just your thoughts, which is the feminine energy. When you're sitting down thinking of things, listen, everything you see around you, that comes from feminine energy first. This pen doesn't get created without feminine energy. The bottle of water, anything you got around you, it comes from your mind. It comes from the mind. Everything you're looking at, somebody had to think it first. That's the feminine energy. The physical energy was somebody actually putting it together. All right, I need to get somebody to give me some plastic. I need, some ink and all of this. This was the masculine energy. But the feminine, this don't happen without somebody's thought. The feminine energy, the masculine energy is, as I always describe it, this is where, okay, somebody's like, well, let me get me a gun. Let me get me a knife so I can make sure that if somebody come at the door and I'm in danger, I'm there to protect myself. Yeah. Well, the feminine energy doesn't even allow the situation to happen where you need a gun or a knife in the first place. The feminine energy makes sure you never have to be in that situation ever for any reason where you would need a gun or a knife. The feminine energy makes things disappear. The feminine energy makes the danger disappear. The feminine energy is where everything begins, the thoughts. Nothing comes into this dimension unless it was a thought first. That's the feminine energy. That's the power. And so when we're talking about finding remedy in something, we're going to it from a spiritual perspective. That's the feminine. In the dark, what's up here? What's in your mind? So if I want to deal with a situation whereby someone is coming at me on this side, I need to recognize that somewhere I put out a spiritual energy to create this over here. Somewhere I put out a spiritual energy, a thought. I did something on the feminine side to create this over here. This is only a figment of my imagination. That's what this is. This in the masculine, this comes from my imagination. What did I do over here on the spiritual side to create this figment of my imagination? Well, if I got this over here, then I need to do something on this spiritual side to make this go away. I do it all the time. I do it all the time. If I've got a situation over here that looks huge and humongous, when I put out the right spiritual energy on this side, I make this disappear. This is why it's important to know the universal laws, because when you get into the universal laws, you find way more remedy than you do with these lower level. Oh, my declaration security, oh, my financial instrument. You find way more remedy when you're dealing with it on the spiritual feminine side than over here in the masculine. Because once you see something over here in the masculine, you're not going to just pluck a leaf off of it and fix it. No. Once you see something over here in this physical side, it's already done. It's already done. The way you want to fix that is from the spiritual side. So when y'all get in the seminar, you're going to understand how the spiritual and this laws, they're all tied together. You're going to see how it ties together, because everything on this side is only mimicking what's going on the spiritual side. Everything you see in the 3D is only mimicking what's going on over here on the spiritual side. So all of this is tied in. Yeah, I'm going to show you the paperwork and the documents, but you're not skipping this. Otherwise, we can't even do business, because I know that, once again, after I do help you, you're going to not know how to stand. So here it is. I have this person and I've helped her get her child back. I've helped her deal with the child support issue. I've helped her keep from going to jail. But she still ends up getting the child taken away from her. Why? Number one, her spiritual energies were jacked up. Jacked up. Number two, she didn't have an in-depth knowledge of law. When we're doing these upper level processes, you've got to know, what is a true warrant? What is a warrant, first of all? What is a true warrant? What is a valid warrant? What is an instrument? What is a court? You've got to know these things. Why? Because you're going to be tested. And if you fail, well, then your failure may mean, well, your child gets taken away from you, your car, your house gets taken away from you, your money gets taken away from you. You've got to know this. So it's not about just, we're going to skip over that part and then I'm just, no, you're not. I'm not going to be able to do business with you, because I know whatever process we do, you won't be able to stand on it. When you come in here, my job is to make sure you have full knowledge. It's not for you to be sitting up under UNA or Diva Laree and we're going to protect you. No. When you leave here, you will have full knowledge of how to stand. Full knowledge. Full knowledge. Because other than that, I didn't do my job. So we're going over universal laws today. And this is very important. Some of y'all take the spiritual side, the feminine energy, very lightly, and that's the wrong thing, because that's where your remedy comes from. This is where your remedy comes from, the spiritual side, the feminine side. This is not dissing the masculine at all. You have to recognize, when somebody's telling you, oh, well, the feminine is passive. No, it's not. The feminine is where everything begins. Everything you see around you, whether it be a house or a grain of dirt, it comes from someone's thoughts. Somebody thought it. That's feminine energy right there. And if you don't get that, then you're going to struggle in this whole game. So as we prepare to load up at the top of the hour in the UNA University Back to Basics room, I encourage you, if you want to be a part of the seminars, go to unauniversity.com. You can scroll down and you'll see the different classes, and then you can enroll. I say to you that these seminars are highly important in gaining your knowledge of law. Gaining your knowledge of law is very important, because you're not going to just learn this in a couple of days. And if you're thinking 2 hours is too long for you to sit through a university session, then damn it. See how many hours you sit in jail when you do something and mess up because you don't know the law. See if that's too long. I say to you, we got to get serious about our knowledge. And we got to get serious about how we're standing in this game. If you're truly wanting the remedy so that you can walk in a private way, in a sovereign way, like the God that you are, then this is a great seminar for you. If you don't even get it, if you don't get it here, go get it somewhere. It doesn't matter where you go, but you're going to have to pay. You have to pay attention. Pay attention. And be willing to put out the Federal Reserve notes that somebody's asking. because none of us got this for free. None of us did. Even if we didn't pay Federal Reserve notes, we had to pay attention. So I say to you, we are loading up. I would love to have you in the seminars. I'm yours truly, Diva Laree. We got a big session today. I hope you're all ready to learn and willing to learn, so we can help you get to the level you want to be at. All right, I'm about to be out of here. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you, all my spirits with vessels that want to learn this information. I'm excited to give it to you. I'm out. I'm gonna see y'all in the room. Diva, bye bye.